This is the 20th season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. We got a lot of bass fishing coming up. Recurring guest. We actually have some new news and some old news is like Robert's Rules of Orders. Did you ever learn Robert's Rules of Orders, Matt Stefan?
Yeah, I did.
What? Why are you always laughing at me? I got a couple buddies that no matter what I do, they just laugh at me, and I can't tell whether it's in a positive way or whether it's in a very judgmental way.
No, I just enjoy how I never know what direction we're going to take this. And
that's because I don't know what direction I'm going to take it.
You're asking about Robert's Rule of Orders. I was the chief financial officer of the student government at University of Wisconsin at Stevens Point. And
wait. Say that again. Say that again. 1 second.
I was the chief financial officer of the student
CFO.
Government. Yeah, of the Student Government Association of the
SGA. I feel like that's a big role.
So it honestly, like, the crazy thing is, so I graduated 2 years before college fishing, or before the Wisconsin and Stevens Point fishing team was created, and they're a club at that school. And they need to go to the to student government and get funding. And part of my role in that position was to sit down with all the clubs on campus and like approve their budgets. So had I been in that role and the fishing club had come to me, I would have been like, take it all. You're going everywhere. And, you know, now they probably have some guy who's sitting there who isn't involved at all in fishing and probably is like looking through their budget going, what do you need travel money for? What do you need gas money for? How many guys are going to tournaments? And they're probably pretty limited on funds, but yeah, so I'm a little familiar with Robert's Rules of Order.
I was unaware of that about you. Yeah, I just had Jackson in the studio yesterday, president of the OU fishing club. Very near and dear to my heart, but look at that. There's the OU Bass Club.
You gonna be an assistant coach?
I would like to take kind of a behind the scenes advisory role with the club. Like, you know, the dude is very passionate about it. I got a message yesterday also from the from their school supervisor, the guy that like oversees the team. He's a kayak angler. So you have to have like, I guess, to have a club, like a university sponsor. Anyway, he messaged me, and then basically I left it at, hey, let me know what you guys want to fish next year. Like, give me the dream schedule. And then, I mean, like, Oklahoma has a lot of people who are outdoorsmen who have made good life decisions to set them up financially. You know what I mean? There's just like, you know, like oil and gas and a lot of like people who have ties to the outdoors, but also like their own businesses. So I was like, dude, we got to figure out how to tap the OU club into that, because that's where I think you get the funding to fish a year, not have to worry about the gas money. I mean, he was talking about how they all pile in and stay at the same place, and they don't fish certain entire, you know, events or trails just strictly because of funding. So, yeah,
it's a tough, I mean, I'm jealous of the kids, but I'm also kind of like, it doesn't travel already is tough. And to have like 6 guys staying in a hotel room doesn't sound like fun.
I think your boys are probably going to go the whole system route, right? Like junior clubs, high school fishing, collegiate fishing. Like, are they into it that much?
Well, Hank would do it for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
he's in the bass club with me right now. Duke is not. It's funny, Duke hasn't shown much interest in fishing. He loves going on the water, loves being in the water, loves being in the boat. But like the last 3 months now, he's like, let's go fishing. So I'm by no means am I pressuring them into pursuing the sport. I would much rather just have them outdoors and like enjoying, the water, I guess. But we can definitely go that route if they want to do it. I think Hank's probably almost ready to go pro right now. So, he might just skip the juniors.
Who did you say you guys were telling me his favorite angler was?
He's a big fan of Drew Gill. That's
Yeah.
his favorite. Yeah, his favorite angler. He already yells at me for not looking at the forward-facing sonar enough.
But he's like, did Drew instill this in him, or is this something that he came about on his own? Like, did he decide that he's a Drew Gill fan on his own?
I think it stems from last season, 2023, fishing the invitationals. I think that was Drew's. I think it was his second year, maybe, but
Yeah.
I think he was like the youngest guy on tour, and Hank
Okay.
really liked the fact that he was the youngest guy on tour. I think
Really?
it felt like it was like his buddy versus
Because Hank's the stat guy. He knows
Yeah, Hank,
he knows
Hank
all
knows.
the different anglers.
Yes, regardless of what sport it is at this point, Hank could tell you everybody's name and every stat. So if it's fishing, he'll tell you who came in fourth in whatever random tournament over the last couple years.
He's a up and coming Ken Duke. He's
Yeah,
the next.
I mean,
He's going to take the Ken Duke mantle as the most educated statistician and random knowledge man in bass fishing.
well, that's kind of the funny part about it is a lot of it is really random stats. Like he'll be like, "Dad, you know how many guys in the top 10 their last name started with T?" And
Oh,
I'll be like, "I have no clue." And he'll be like,
we need to
"3."
get him
And then
on
he'll rattle them
BTL.
off. Yeah, he I mean, he could take
Why
your job, Matt.
has
So
he
be
not
careful.
ever made an appearance on Matt on your, like, you need to have like a top 10 list with him, like a letter where you say, hey, once a month you get to come in, you come up with your favorite top 10 list. It could be his favorite anglers whose last names start with some random stat, and then he gets to come on and it's the stat of the month.
I mean, that would be fun. He does fish Wednesday nighters with me. So we
Okay.
have Wednesday nighters during the summer months. We try to fish every one. I mean, we probably fish about half of them, but that's 10 or 12 probably. So he's my viewers on my channel are fully aware of who the other Stefan
Has
family
he ever
members
like
are.
at a Wednesday night or just been like, I'm not feeling this, Dad, we need to pull the plug?
Oh yeah, he lets me know what we should be doing or what I should be throwing. Like, I mean, the last one of the year, he lit me up pretty good out of the back of the boat. He likes throwing a little 3-inch pit boss with a hover rig, and he just flops that thing around behind me, and he catches fish every tournament. And this one, he got my number pretty good, which is great. It's a team event. I was happy for him.
I like it. Full disclosure, I'm in the middle of getting Starlink, so I think I've been good most of the time. And you're in the middle of like adding on a deck, a porch deck. What are you putting on the house? So if you hear that was either Sarah with the smoothie blender or someone with like a circular saw.
Yeah, no, I apologize for that.
Oh
Yeah,
no, it's not bad. I just was letting people know.
Yeah, we've got a deck. So all of the traveling that I do, one of the things I'm always most jealous about when I go down south is you see all these big covered like outdoor decks. Like it's a way of life down south, right?
It's called a lanai, I believe, like the screened in outdoor patio that everyone in Florida has.
Yeah, well, no, I'm thinking more of like if you go to Smith Lake, they've got like the outdoor kitchen. Like it's a big covered deck
Oh,
type
dude, those
thing.
are nice. Yep.
Yeah, so we
Stainless steel appliances outside with the rock that they build around that overlooks the lake.
yeah, I mean, things are pretty dang expensive now, so we've toned down some of what we've done. But like we're putting
You're
a
a BPT
we're
pro,
putting a
you're
deck with
pro
a
angler, internet
what?
super. So you say you're a BPT pro, internet superstar. You do a video a day. You're raking in YouTube cash, lucrative sponsor deals.
No, well, I'll tell you this. It's turned into a much larger project than I wanted, and a lot of it just has to do with straight maintenance. Like the house, our house is a little over 30 years. So like windows and doors are all going shoddy on us, and the siding is going shoddy. So it was like, it's turned into a lot of maintenance work too, like some new siding, some windows and doors, things to kind of just prevent damage. And we found a lot of water damage and some rotted areas. So it's become a much bigger project than what I would have liked, which is not good for the pocketbook. I can tell you.
I am not going to start a project at the house, I don't think. So Frank is going through horrible projects on his house in Cleveland Heights, which is 100 years old. You're talking about the projects. Clay, Clay's feeling good this morning. He said, I'm sitting on a screened-in porch, right meow. All right. We do have a lot going on in the world of fishing. Most notably, BASS announces schedule for enhanced 2025 Bassmaster Open season. Bass officials announced the schedule for the revamped 2025 St. Croix Bassmaster Opens presented by Seven season. I'll read a little bit and then we'll talk about it. How's that sound?
Yeah, I didn't know the schedule came out, Matt. When did that happen?
Yes, you did. I literally talked with you last night about it.
I've gotten about 8,000 texts since yesterday. Have you seen the schedules out? Have you seen the schedules out?
Have you? Do you know? First of all, I'm not putting any pressure on you. I should have asked. This would have been a good podcast host would have asked this beforehand. And you don't have to say what. Do you know what you're doing yet?
Well, I have, because the schedule just came out yesterday. I have not fully like put down dates and everything, but I have had a lot of people texting me like, well, there's a conflict with this or a conflict with that. You know, as of right now, and this could potentially change. This is breaking news, Matt, breaking news. You know, I think the one thing that I feel most comfortable with is the Division 2 of the Opens. Assuming you're fishing it and you can get me in as a roommate with you.
I think that might be possible.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna look at the rest of the options.
What are the rest of the options? Invitationals or just take signs and picket the BPT events? Those are your two other options.
Take the BPT events?
Yeah, just take signs and then picket outside while they fish. It was a joke. You see where I'm coming from now?
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, I was thinking maybe, you know, you
or Division 1
and Upshaw, we could get together and do like a fantasy, a BPT fantasy role, because now I'd be allowed to do it because, you know, I'll be on the outside looking in, but I'm familiar with those guys.
Yeah, and Blake Schroeder, as long as Blake is, I'm not sure what Blake is doing. I think Blake is probably you'd like Blake though. Hockey guy from Dallas.
Well, as long as he doesn't pull my shirt up over my head and hit me in the belly.
He just likes to watch it. He didn't play.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
And then also he cooks. He literally, it's like having I wouldn't say 5-star, like having a 4-star chef, 4.5 star. No, it's a 5-star. He's never made anything bad, but his thing, like, you know, I'm a big cook. Like that's all I do. The last year I cooked 0 times. Like we're talking charcoal only.
Yeah.
Amazing cuts of meat, planned out meals the week in advance. Like he comes off the water and starts a 5-course dinner.
I got pretty spoiled fishing this year with Matt Becker and his girlfriend Brittany. Brittany, we'd come back off the water and Brittany would have dinner ready. She'd make us lunch.
Did she do baked goods?
Breakfast. Like he's gonna have a big role to fill if I'm not rooming with those guys this year.
Here's where it might get. Here's where Brittany and Matt Becker, we have to start saying last names because everyone's named Matt apparently, might have the edge over Blake is in baked goods and sweets.
And she's making sourdough bread now. Sarah, my wife.
So she does make baked goods, Brittany.
Yeah. Oh, I'm well aware, dude.
No, we don't do the baked goods. We do meat.
Well, I know I could probably take care of some of the baked goods. Like Sarah generally sets me up with some like chocolate chip cookies or M&M bars. I bring those for the house. So we'd have some sweets.
And then so what I've been understanding, if this is correct, and we're all over the board here. I don't care. I like it. What?
No, we're going somewhere different. Where are we going now?
No. So hypothetically, if you do room with us, the biggest thing that I want to do this year is live shows. So Starlink is the way to go with that, because then you don't have to worry about the internet. You can literally bring Starlink with you, from what I'm understanding.
I mean, that's my understanding as well. Yeah. I know they've got a travel one, and I'm not sure if that's different than the regular one, but you could easily throw your Starlink in your truck and bring it with you.
And then it doesn't matter what your internet is like, where you stay. It's always going to be Elon quality.
Yeah, as long as you can point the dish thing in the correct direction, you should be just fine.
And I'm assuming they have an app that tells you what direction that is in.
Yep. And it'll yell at you if it's not lined up right.
So here's what I'm thinking.
You already got plans made for this, huh?
No, I was just we have a lot of plans. The schedule, I don't understand why I have allergies and it's late in the year. I thought allergies were supposed to happen early in the year. It's October 23rd, and I've got the worst allergies that I've ever had. You get fall allergies ever?
Just go to bed earlier. You got to stay out of the casino. It's all the smoke in your eyes.
Yeah. So the two open divisions are Division 1 is Clarks Hill, January 23rd. Tom Bigby in Mississippi, April 16th. Upper Chesapeake, end of July. St. Lawrence River out of Waddington, beginning August. Division 2 is Rayburn, mid-February. Kentucky Lake, early March. Norfolk in Mountain Home, Arkansas, early April. And Leech Lake, middle of August. So the way that this works, for those who don't understand how it works, for 2025, Opens anglers placing in the top 50 in each division's Angler of the Year race will advance to the Bassmaster Elite Qualifier Series. This standalone series will feature 3 events spanning September through November, where anglers will compete to qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series. The Bassmaster Elite Qualifier Series schedule will be released at a later date. Can we just get dates, people? Like, listen, we're Bassmaster Open anglers. We have a lot of things that go on in life, specifically in those holiday months, September, October, November. I am begging you, Hank, Bassmaster, like, just give us the date. I don't care where they are for the EQs. I might not even make them, but I would like to schedule some things around those dates. That's less than a year out. Like you give us just a couple months to get ready on that. At least just give us the elite EQ dates. Maybe I'll be in a different country for a couple of those. Maybe there's something else going on that's a tournament trail where the championship is on top of that. Bassmaster, just give us the date. I don't care where they are. Obviously, there's probably going to be one in Florida because it's not on either of the schedules. There's probably going to be one in Alabama because it's not on either of the open schedules. But just the weeks, just like, hey, like, should you finish in the top 50, these are the 3 weeks that you might want to save.
Why do you think they're not giving us dates? Do you think they don't have them?
Nah, I think they're still figuring it out. I think they have it. I also don't think that they understand.
Yeah, I mean, that's not an excuse to say that they don't understand. You're in the business of working with anglers. You choose not to. This is one of the things that really bothers me with the tournament world. The organizations, and I don't care what organization it is, they're like, oh, we're in this together, guys. We're in this together, and they know dang well that all of the anglers have their own personal brands, our own personal businesses.
And PFL did it. They screwed so many people by just going, oh, we're going to move the Florida thing to December. Now I understand there was probably some stuff behind the scenes that they can't talk about why that went down. I'm sure that anybody who had an outside shot at an Angler of the Year or an outside shot at qualifying for the championship went, whoa, you can't cut us out of one event. but also they just flopped it down in the middle of December and really screwed over a lot of guys' freaking plans. Like there's a lot of guys that weren't happy about that.
Well, and I mean, just looking at this now, if you're considering fishing the invitationals, the Major League Fishing invitationals, their championships in September, and all Bass has come out and said is that those open EQs will start in September or later, correct? So there's potential you could fish
September, October, November.
Yeah, so there's potential you could qualify if you want to fish both. You could qualify for a championship and then be told you have an EQ that falls on top of it, and then have to make a decision. And I mean, it's really just comes down to the dates. We have businesses that we have to plan around, and not having dates is really ridiculous. Even to the point where, like, for them to release the Opens dates for just the first two divisions, not even the EQs this late, is problematic, because as a business, I have a lot of discussions with sponsors, and one of the first questions sponsors are asking me right now is, what are you fishing? And I can't even give them an answer because I don't even know what the dates are, because I don't know what I'll be able to fish. So, like, they need to recognize that the anglers are very much in the same boat, and have to build their businesses around those dates, and we need the dates. I don't care. I honestly don't care about locations.
Yeah, neither do I.
For some people it matters. For me, just tell me where I need to be, but give me the dates so I can lock them up.
It's not a complaint or a gripe. It's a stern request, a heartfelt request.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider it a critique of their businesses, a complaint, and a request.
Because I'm trying to plan some stuff for next year, and I'm looking at the 2025 calendar, and there's a couple hard weeks during that time where if there's an open event there, I ain't fishing them. Just because, I mean, I can't. Like, I mean, I got a lot of other people involved. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, a big part of it is, I understand everyone's position as an angler is different, but, in your case with BTL, if you have something going on that's more, important for BTL that you plan, and BTL is kind of what allows you to fish, you almost are forced to choose the BTL direction and not fish an open because of it.
100%. Now, here's where things get interesting. If you look at the at that schedule, that Division I schedule, Clarks Hill, Tom Bigby, Upper Chesapeake, and the St. Lawrence, January 23rd. So no conflict. April, no conflict. So Division I has no conflict with BPT events.
Correct.
However, the last St. Lawrence, the last open, July 31st through August 2nd, is stage 7 is the week following, starting August 6th. So what you're going to end up with is, I would assume Bass did that to be like, hey, we're not right on top of any elite series stuff or open stuff, a BPT. Let me just start that thought. I think Bass waited to come out with this so they could make sure there was a division that wasn't conflicting with a BPT, to give any BPT angler that wanted to work back through the opens an opportunity to fish those 4. However, they're going to have to make a decision on the last one. They're either skipping the last because it'll be off limits. The BPT will be off limits. They technically won't be able to be on the water for the open if they also plan on fishing the BPT. So it'll be interesting next year in the end of July if we're talking about guys that have a shot to qualify for the EQs in the top 50 that are opting to fish that last Division I event and then skip, then they DQ themselves from the BPT.
What are the dates of the St. Lawrence?
August 6th through 11th is the BPT, and the open is July 31st through August 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they'll have to make a decision, but at that point, too, you'll have guys who know if they're on the chopping block or not, and or have a good chance of being on the chopping block. And from that standpoint, they may choose to go one direction or not. I mean, maybe they can get some sort of exemption. I doubt that would be the case, but you never know.
Yeah, I don't
see that happening, but
they're not going to get an exemption.
Guys will probably ask for it.
So, That's the interesting thing that I found on that. Like there is a vet, and then of the series, like Clark's Hill, I'm just looking at this like the hottest thing that's been going here. If you look at it from a scope heavy series, so like Clark's Hill in January, I would assume Scope Fest.
Oh yeah.
Tom Bigby, I don't know any. I've heard about it. Tom Bigby to me, for maybe it's the B, but that for some reason I put the Tom Bigby Waterway and Bugs Island in the same category, and then I went out to Bugs Island for that. But Tom Bigby to me is 1980s Bassmasters.
Yeah, 100% shallow
What is it?
water grass.
I feel like
fishing.
you've been there.
No, I've never been there. The only thing I know about it is watching some old tournament coverage. Like you're saying, like really old tournament coverage where guys were like flipping grass and pads and stuff like that. And it probably would be a fun tournament to fish. It probably fishes a lot like the Red River is my guess. I don't think it's a big bass fishery. I think it's like, you go catch 10 pounds, you're doing good. And that could be wrong. I just feel like that's what I recall from watching it in some of the old days. But
and then middle end of July, the Upper Chesapeake. I know when we were there a couple years ago for the Opens, it was more fallish, and it was hot garbage.
Yeah,
great area, nice, but like just probably some of the most depressing Bassmaster Opens fishing that I have ever done. It's the only time that I have ever power poled down for more than 6 hours without moving.
Wait, you sat in one spot for 6 hours?
Absolutely.
Did you catch him?
My co-angler finished second. He had two for almost 12 pounds. I had two for 5.5 on the day that I didn't move. And then I got to watch the Dean Pete pulled up and caught 16 pounds, 50 yards from me and said, "Boy, I'm glad you were sitting on the good spot, because I would have never come over here and tried it."
Yeah, I do not have fond memories. I fished that place one time. It was a Bass Open. It was a long time ago. And I think the first day there were like 40 total fish caught. There were like 100 zeros. It was absolutely terrible. It was just terrible fishing. I think all in practice, I think I had like 5 bites the entire practice. And I think it'll be better in July. I would think the flats would be probably the predominant thing, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's one of my least favorite places I've ever fished. I can tell you that.
And then St. Lawrence, July 31st through August 2nd. I think we all know what's up. Well, I mean, that's just pretty standard. Then, so that is what it is. But I mean, that's a little bit of it's got a good mixture in there. Non-traditional.
I like that. I like the division. I think they've got, some mixed, diverse fisheries. I think it has guys are going to have to be well adept at several different types of fishing to do well in that division. I also, as a Wisconsin angler, I really like the date format of that, where like I'd only have one winter tournament where I have to potentially deal with snow. So, you have January, after January, then the next one's middle of April. So at that point we're out of the snow up here. So I really like that, because the snow can be a pain in the butt from a travel perspective.
Yeah.
I also like the back-to-back tournaments, the Upper Chesapeake and the St. Lawrence, which is kind of like making one trip for me, and you can knock out 2 tournaments.
Also new for 2025 Opens and DQ, the new electronic rules will be implemented for the Elite Series will also apply for the Opens, which includes the standardization practices that allow for only one live transducer connected to the trolling motor shaft and capping the total screens at 55 inches. Plus, I'm sure that, that would grandfather in the worst decision they've made with the power brakes.
Yeah, that would indicate we can't have them then.
So I will say this, working on a power brakes is working on a breakaway system. So if you want to fun fish and fish like normal, which I do, which I enjoy using them in a very sportsmanlike fashion should be completely
Let's hear it, Matt. Let's hear it.
No, I've gone over it enough, and like I just did like a big attaboy segment to Bassmaster, and my personal opinions, I can't let them overtake. It's insignificant in the grand scheme of things. It's insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but the decision represents such a massive lack of overall understanding that it terrifies me. Like it's a decision that, like, to come to that decision, there had to be certain things that happened in that room that scares me about who was in that room and how decisions were made about everything. And I'll leave it at that. But he's working on a breakaway system, Matt, to where we can pop them off. We can still have everything. And then when we want to go back to the big, bad, horrible sport ruining crappie break / power breaks, we can just hook them back on.
Yeah. I look at that decision as one of those, like, hey, I've got, I don't know. I've got some illness that's curable by like eating right and exercising, but instead I'm going to take, some medication that just kind of blocks the symptoms. Right?
They had to get their pound of flesh somewhere, and it was an easy target. So I just saw that. So that's that. And then Division 2 with the Rayburn and Kentucky Lake and Norfolk, all before, all at the beginning of April, and then Leech in August. That's a little, I feel like that's an ode to anybody in the invitationals that isn't thrilled with the 1 day scope, 1 day not scope. Hey, come over to Bass. We have the schedule. We have the scope and schedule for you.
That's a scope and schedule. I will definitely say that. When I look at those lakes, I can't say I'm thrilled on those lakes either. But again, like the lakes are so, I really don't choose what to fish generally based on lakes, unless
very diverse fisheries though. I'm excited to see Kentucky Lake back on. We're going to catch them at Rayburn in February. Norfolk is new. Clear Mountain Lake, not a fantastic fishery, but a good one, maybe a little small. And then we have seen what Leech has to offer too. So I'm all on board with that. I'm fishing Division 2. That's it. I'll say that right now. I'm not fishing Division 1. I'm not chasing it. I like the fact that I can go February, March, April, and then all of April, May, June, July, and half of August. Yeah. I mean, dude, that's big. Like we can fish the St. Jude that first week of May. That's a lot of trips. That's a lot of BTLs in studio.
Yeah, I really, as much as I like with Division 1 not having to deal with snowfall when traveling, I really like Division 2 though, from the standpoint of I have tournaments February, March, and early April, and then after that there's that frees you up to either pursue other tournaments or it frees you up to enjoy the Wisconsin summer, whatever it is. It's kind of cool having that done and having a break where you're not really fishing that much during the summer months. I think those are diverse lakes. Again, I do think, you're going to see the scopers shine in those, on those fisheries. Like, so I would have liked to have seen maybe one more. I would like to have seen one swapped out for what I would have considered more of a power fishing lake. But
dude, Rayburn's a power fishing lake. If you don't want to, I mean, you've got a legit shot at going and cracking an upper 20s bag on a trap in the grass that time of the year.
I mean, that hasn't been a gigantic player on Rayburn in a long time. If you wanted to take it out, what they should have done is swapped like Norfolk and Rayburn, and you go to Rayburn when all the fish are up shallow. You can go to Norfolk when you're going to be scoping them anyways. I'm just saying, like, I think they could have changed. They could have been a little bit more diverse. I feel like Division 1 is definitely more diverse. Division 2 is, there's going to be guys that just dangle a minnow the entire time. Like Matty P on the other end of the phone here.
I didn't say that. I'm equal opportunity on all techniques.
It's good for you. It saves you money. All you got to do is buy a couple jig heads.
It costs me a lot of money. It's costing me a ton of money. I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
The one thing I will say with the invitationals, there are several back-to-back events though. Like, that would drive me nuts from the stand. Like the first one, I think I'm not sure if it's the week before or the week after Rayburn is on the Kissimmee chain in Florida. So you're talking about a major cross-country drive back to back. So
And
it's
I feel
not,
like one of the EQs is going to have to be in Florida.
could be, but I'm saying if you're fishing the invitationals.
Oh, the invitationals. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
can fish the invitationals and Division 2, but I'm saying several of them are back to back where you're going to be driving a ton, and it's just, you know, there's no money in fishing these, right? So from that standpoint, it's a matter of, okay, is it worth throwing down a bunch of money to fish multiple circuits?
Yeah, I'm just going to fit. So, I mean, is it safe to say that you're leaning towards Division 2?
Right now, I think I'm going to build around Division 2, meaning assuming I can get into them, that would be the first choice. So that would be what I will be fishing, and then I'm going to look to see how everything else plays out. You know,
And we
I'll
need,
look. Go ahead.
if we're going to room together, we need to, let's do live shows this year.
I mean, if the fans want that, I'd be more than happy to do it with you.
Tyler saying the last EQ in November will be in Florida. We can have a year where we don't go to Florida. We have years where we don't go to Texas. We have years where we don't go to Oklahoma. I enjoy Florida. I've met more fantastic, accommodating, badass individuals from Florida. Like if you haven't been to especially like the inland, like the mainland of Florida, not on the coast, like it's super country. Like fields and cattle and horses and agriculture, like, and the people are badass. Like the fishing, I don't know. I've never gotten it, right? Just like how some guys go to the Ozarks and they're like, screw this rock, screw all these docks. I don't get it. Like that's how I am with all of the venues in Florida now.
I love Florida.
Why?
I love Florida fishing.
Why?
Well, honestly, it's very much like Wisconsin fishing. Like it's all just shallow grass. I love shallow grass. I've got a pretty good track record in Florida. Like I don't like that it takes me 26 hours to get there, but I enjoy going to Florida. I don't enjoy, like, I do not enjoy going to places like the Harris chain where you could be 2 miles from the ramp and you're dealing with rush hour traffic and it takes you 40 minutes to get around. But I like fishing the lakes up there, down there.
One more.
You don't like it because you don't shake a minnow there, but you figure out how to shake a minnow there and you'll be just fine, Matt.
One more scheduling question, then we'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about, unless you have other burning desires to talk about the schedule.
So, well, no, I do. I'm wondering if you think there's going to be guys fishing both divisions.
Yeah, I think there'll probably be like 30 or 40 guys that fish both of them, especially like an Ish or a Mike McClellan or someone, like if that's what you do, if that's a Russ Lane, a Brett Height, a Randall Tharp, like all those guys are still there. They fish. Like that's what they do for a living.
You think they'll fish both divisions? Like I look at it.
I mean, yeah, they're pro fishermen.
Yeah, but you don't make money fishing the opens. So, and if you're just trying to make the EQs,
I think about 40 or 50 guys will fish all of them.
Huh. That'll be interesting to see. I don't personally think you're going to see many guys fishing two divisions because you're fishing tournaments that do not generate income and you're just trying to make it to the next round. And the next round, like to the point where if you qualified for the top 50 in two different divisions, it's almost like, well, I just threw some money away to qualify in another division. You don't get anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I'll be curious to see how many guys do it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to try to fish two divisions of the worst payouts in tournament fishing, but hey, go for it.
They did do a better job. They went deeper down into the payout. The payouts have been a little bit better. They listened to the anglers by going to 45 instead of 40.
Does it say how many they're going to cap it at?
No. I think probably 450 boats. 500.
I mean, I could see them getting 300 boats per division.
I think 250 maybe. Hell, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it. Surely you're me fishing. You know, I didn't fish the last two EQs. Paid my deposits. I got my deposits for them.
I don't know. I'm a lifetime member. I'll fall back on that.
So am I. I'm a lifetime member of Fish's EQs.
When's the sign up date?
Like November 16th, 17th, 18th. Usually if you are in the top whatever of one of the divisions or the overall, if you fish the all, you get like here's your early entry code so you can give us money quicker.
I like giving them my money faster.
I always wait till the last day.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm joking.
Drunkwood said just tuning in. So apparently there are some guys that have turned down their BPT invites. Were you like, I don't know if you want to talk about that. Did you get approached to return to the BPT? Were you high enough on that list?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
I mean, I don't, I keep getting people reaching out to me being like, anglers are dropping out left and right.
Yeah.
Tell me who, because the only guys I know, I know Randy Howell took a
Elite Series ticket.
Elite Series. Yeah. Who else is gone?
I had heard that maybe there were a couple individuals that qualified through the invitationals who turned down their invites in the top 5, and then a couple other BPT anglers who were opted to go different directions.
I mean, at this point, I was the first man out at the end of the season. I was number 16 on the list of anglers out that could not qualify from our AOI. I could not qualify through lifetime AOI standings because they told me I had no AOI lifetime average.
Yeah.
So the only way I could qualify was through the remaining. They took the top 15 guys out of the remaining.
So you're way
guys.
the hell down the list is what you're trying to say.
I finished 16th on that. So I was first man out. And then they said they draw a hard line there. They move all the rookies, which is myself, down to the bottom behind every vet. And I was the highest rookie technically at that point that didn't qualify. So I fall right in line behind Boyd Duckett. And Boyd Duckett, is like 12th on the list. So I need 20% of the field to drop out at this point. So no, I do not plan to get an invite. If they give me an invite, I would definitely be willing to listen. But at this point, I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that because I've gotten a bunch of people that were Matt's gotta be next. And I'm like, I don't think the way that they interpreted that made him next. I think you were even though you weren't down, you were down.
Yeah. I submitted basically an appeal to MLF explaining the situation. The anglers, every angler I talked to was not aware or did not agree to how they were going to do that. And from that standpoint, I was told no. Who made that decision? I don't know. I don't know if it went to Boyd. I don't know if it stayed at Daniel Fennell. I don't know if it went to Kathy Fennell. Do I think there's potentially conflict of interest there when, the angler, there's an angler in the field that could potentially be making that decision and it would affect whether I got chosen before he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think there could be some conflict there, which rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but the way they've set it up, I do not plan to get an invite at this point. And, being a business in my own right, I need to look at what's right for the direction that I need to go in. Do I wish I was fishing the BPT? Yeah, I wish I didn't have to make a decision as to fish something else, but I don't have that option. It's not an option for me to do at this point. So I'm evaluating my other options.
Which right now sounds kind of like the Opens. One division.
Well, I'm telling you, as long as I can get into Division 2, that's what I plan to fish.
I would feel like if you fish at a certain level or have it, you should be able. They would give you you've earned at least a spot in that tournament. It would, you know what I'm saying?
In the past I've had the opportunity to get to Bass has offered sponsor exemptions. I don't know if they still do that or not. That could be an option, but
I feel like if you got the logo on your lower back, that they would be like, that's a company, man. The Bass logo on your lower back, live on air, that there's no way they're going to keep you out if you do that.
I mean, hey, yeah, right now I haven't been approached by anybody. I don't expect to be approached by anyone, and I'm just going to follow the rules in terms of signing up wherever I feel like I need to sign up. And at this point, Division 2 is what I would like to fish. I would expect to be able to get in if I can do that. I look forward to hopefully rooming with you, Matt, and hopefully making some content. And then if I can, I'm gonna evaluate what the schedules look like in terms of trying to fish something else. But
Have you
I
considered
know,
the NPFL? The
well, I know
scopeless NPFL?
my buddy Mark Fisher texted me this morning because he was looking at doing those too, and he said that they conflict with both divisions of the opens.
There you go.
So that doesn't work either. So, the options would be, I think right now the options are basically you fish one or both divisions of the opens and or fish the invitationals with Division 2, which would require a ton of driving, or maybe you look at some of the Toyotas, or you just fish one thing.
Yeah, that's the other reason why I'd like to know what the dates are for the September, October, and November. I would assume they would not put one of the EQs over the One Bass US Open, especially now that the top 5 anglers go to the Bass Nation Championship for that with Bass. But I mean, it would be nice to know, like, hey, I would like to sign up for the 20, especially since if you're only fishing 4, I'd like to sign up for the 25 US Open as soon as possible.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. That's another tournament that I've definitely thought quite a bit about. I think next year they're going back to Lake Mead. I think.
Oh, you heard that? Really?
Well, I can't say I know that. Dude, for
if
sure.
You're doing that, we need to get a houseboat because I'm all in on that. I want to fish it as a boater on Mead.
Yeah, Lake Mead is one of the coolest lakes I've ever fished, and Bridgeford is a major sponsor of that tournament. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping they continue to sponsor for 2025. I don't know if they are or they not, or if they've talked with Billy Egan about it. All I know is that is a tournament that, if I choose to just fish one division of the opens, I will probably be looking to throw some other stuff in the hat. And that would definitely be one that I've fished multiple times in the past. I feel like there was one year where I had the fish on to win and didn't capitalize. Like, I like going out there. So I would like to know dates for everything. Bassmaster, give us the EQ dates, please.
Also, I would love to hear if you're listening to this on the replay or live and you have a tournament that's like in your area that is just badass, like a one-off, like a US Open, a Sturgeon Bay Open, Canadian Open. Like, I'm, like I said, I've talked about this before. I'm toying with the idea of maybe taking the show on the road for a week, jumping in some of these unique one-offs that have, $10,000 to $50,000 first place prizes. But, you kind of got the vibe for that St. Jude up in Minnesota. You know what the vibe is for the USO. Like, each one has some really historic, like really cool things around it. Yeah, and I really enjoy those. So that would kind of give me an opportunity to maybe add a couple more of those live weeks at one-off events without the stress of an open.
The cool part with those like giant local tournaments, like we've got the Sturgeon Bay Open, we've got the St. Jude's, those, they had like the excitement level. And I've said this about the One Bass US Open. Like I was blown away the first year I went out there, how excited everybody is to be there. Like, it's such a great, well-run event. All of them are generally, and you just get the support of the people in that area. Mm-hmm. And they're fun to be part of. So like, that's definitely, things I'm looking at. Like, when I look at Division 2, where I can have 3 of those 4 tournaments done by early April, and then not have anything till the end of or middle of August, and then hopefully you qualify for the EQs, and those are in the fall. That means like I've got a big period of summer portion to fish a lot of stuff in my neck of the woods, which I haven't done in the past. Not that I would be looking to jump into everything, but I haven't fished the Sturgeon Bay Open in years. I want to fish the St. Jude's. I haven't done that before. There's another really cool regional series called the Champions Tour that I've
you're dabbling in the possibility of the Champions Tour.
Dude, that's the best Midwest tournament circuit out there.
I'm not going to lie. Before this schedule came out, I looked at, like, I'd hardcore put in some request info on what the odds are that I could get into that.
Yeah, and I don't know that I could get back into it, but I mean, like Scott Bonema runs that, and it's phenomenal. They do a phenomenal job. It's just one of those. It's one of those circuits I would look at potentially fishing. I don't know what the dates are. There's the Wisco Bass tournaments in Wisconsin that are really good local tournaments. I don't know that I'd be looking at fishing the BFLs as a circuit, but I could jump into a couple of those. It's just one of those situations where, like, if you're not in one of the top two circuits, the Elite Series or the BPT, there's not really much money in it. So at that point, it's a matter of fishing what you want to fish, fishing for fun, or fishing the tournaments that do have good payouts at a more local / regional level. Like, that's one thing I'm so jealous about, guys like down in Texas. You look at Castledine. I mean, he can fish so many high dollar tournaments that are just in that area. Like, I don't really have that option up here.
Yeah, we do that in Oklahoma too. You can fish for 5 to 10 grand, 5 to 50 grand 20 times a year on 6 different fisheries.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, that schedule came out yesterday. It's been really hectic around the house here. Sarah and I are loading the boys up, and we rented a house over in Door County this weekend over on Sturgeon Bay area. So, we'll do a little fishing. We'll have a little family time to reflect and kind of figure out what direction we take the old Matt Stefan.
Are you leaving today or tomorrow?
No, we're tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll dive into the In-Fisherman Master Angler stuff. BTL on Wednesday with Matt Stefan. Will be back right after this.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
This is Gamakatsu's new Nano Alpha line of hooks. If it looks familiar, that's because they are. It's the same shapes and sizes in the round bend and the EWG and in the new Horizon head that you know and love from Gamakatsu, but there are a couple new features with this Nano Alpha, which is this little green label that you see on the packaging. First off, 2 times faster hook penetration. That's because of the Nano Alpha smooth coating on it, and also it is 4 times more corrosion resistant. Check it out, Nano Alpha.
I've been using Sunline Shooter for the majority of my career. Millions of dollars made, lots of bass caught, and the gnarly, gnarly stuff. If you need a abrasion resistant, tough fishing line for the really, really mean stuff, Sunline Shooter is for you.
Your early morning mentality is your every hour mentality. All gas, no brakes. Focus, purpose, power. Destined for the water, but confident everywhere else. A calming buzz before the storm, the truth of nature itself. You can't catch lightning in a bottle. There's a limit out there, but it's not with your gear. Unrelenting power delivery. Unparalleled weight savings. Keeping you on the water, whether you run a 9.9 or outscoping your best 5. In this rare air, there's power in the silence. It's a mindset, thinking only of the things that matter and freeing your mind from the things that you trust.
Get the best patterns backed by tournament data. Start by finding the best 10% of your lake. Know exactly what to look for and what to throw. After that, just put them in the boat. Try the Deep Dive app today.
Look at that beast right there.
Welcome back. BTL on a Wednesday, talking with Matt, Stefan, and I've also got some other ideas. Remind me to bring that up to you after the show.
Got.
It's a content idea that I think has some serious legs on it. At least okay. I would enjoy it. It kind of ties into what we've talked about, what we just talked about in the last segment, but kind of not, but kind of does, but not really. But it, in a roundabout way, it does.
I get jealous. You get to move that microphone like that. That looks like fun.
What, like this?
Yeah, like when you're talking and moving around, you get to move it.
Yeah.
Is that natural that way, or do you just like?
Is what natural?
Well, just like, do you even know you're moving it with your hand?
No, I don't. I've got it. I mean, I've done so many hours alive at this point that it's just kind of you know what I mean? Like automatic.
You should like strap it to your neck so it just moves with you. You get a harness or something.
Hold on. Me your number. Sorry, I've been trying to get that. So Ben Fishing won a Sunline discount code, and his email came through. I mean, I could say this because I have the receipts for it, and I immediately texted him the discount code, and for some reason it wouldn't go through. It kept kicking it back. So I said on the show last time, I said I had no way to like get a hold of him, right? So I said, email me your number, and then I'll just text you the discount code for the 30% off Sunline. And now I've got him right there. Yeah. So he said, Matt, I sent you an email about line discount weeks ago, but I never got a response. I know you're busy and wanted to remind you. So there you go, Ben. Email me your number. I'll then text you the discount code.
I feel like you should give him an extra discount code for the hassle. Good customer service.
I don't really have an extra discount code. It's up to $400 worth of Sunline.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Pete, he said, why do I hear a car running? Matt, because he's such a lucrative content creator.
No, that is
having
not
a massive wraparound deck put on his house that has a built-in kitchen and an in-ground pool with
I haven't said brick, any of this.
With hand-laid brick, completely 360 around the house, straight out like George Strait, country living style.
Yeah, that sounds nice to me. When you should sit down and start talking to somebody about what it's going to cost just to put a normal deck on your house, and then all of a sudden all your dreams of having the cool stuff dissipate real fast.
You're not to the level of expertise where you would maybe toy with the idea of doing it yourself.
So I have replaced like the deck boards over the years, but this was like we needed to do everything, pour like a concrete base, because when the deck was originally built, they didn't put it on anything, and to get it up to code, apparently we needed to do a few things out of my league. But I feel fully competent using some power tools to get some work done. I mean, I've got a really nice chicken coop in my yard that I built a few years ago that it's a chicken mansion. It's pretty good. Although I kind of regret doing that because we just got a load of chickens in, and one of them's a rooster, and now all he does is crow all dang day. That's driving me nuts. Yeah.
Do you have neighbors that are close enough to where they can hear it too?
Well, I'm sure they hear him. They haven't said anything yet. He just started crowing. They're relatively like we got them. I think they're probably 4 or 5 months old at this point. And
so it's a young rooster.
Yeah, but he's getting loud. Like when he first started, it just sounded like he was kind of just scratching his throat. And now he's got like that full-blown rooster crow down. And he likes to start crowing at 4:30. He crows at 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, and then generally all damn day. And then he's done. He's usually done around 5:30. But he doesn't have the crowing just in the morning down.
It is. It is possible.
What?
7 ways to stop your rooster from crowing constantly.
Blow that up for me.
Roosters crow all day long. So how can you stop your rooster from annoying you and the neighbors? I'm sorry to say that the only way to stop your rooster from crowing completely is to make a meal out of him. That's legitimately what it says right there. That's an official article.
Well, here's the problem with that. Like, the boys have become very attached to the rooster.
Okay, so surgical alterations. I'm assuming you could have its voice box taken out. There is a rooster. Cost? That's a crowing collar.
Look at that.
A rooster collar. I feel like that could be called something else.
I feel
rooster. Rooster.
I feel what it is. I mean, do they call it a rooster collar or is it a cock collar?
I don't know. That kind of looks like a ring to me.
I feel like that
collar
would be
doesn't necessarily stop your rooster from crowing, but it does make it more difficult for him to do so. So basically, you're giving your rooster a choker. You're choking. You're choking the chicken. Say that.
I feel like that would be a tough thing to attach onto that cock.
Yeah. Meeting his
dangerous.
Meeting his needs like most barnyard animals. If roosters are unhappy, they have something to say about it. Just make sure that you have a happy rooster.
He is a happy rooster. He runs. He's right. How could he not be happy? He's got 14 hens, and we let him free range roam the yard all dang day. How could he not be happy?
Speaking of meeting his needs, sometimes the rooster crows for reasons other than showing off for the girls. Maybe you're not, maybe there's something that you're not seeing, like a predator. So maybe next time do a quick scan for like a red fox.
Yeah, that's how we lost all the other ones.
Rather than assuming he's just being a showboater for the girls, consider checking things out to make sure there's no threat to your flock. What? Oh, maybe he doesn't have enough activities. Maybe you don't have enough activities for him.
Oh, what do roosters like
give him something else to do.
Little soccer ball?
If they're in small spaces, they become bored, and a bored chicken can be destructive and noisy.
Rooster, he's roaming he's got a lot of grass to eat.
Consider your rooster, giving your rooster something to do if he's on his own a lot.
So we did, when we got them, we also got a guinea hen, thinking that the guinea hen would help protect the hens that we had, not knowing we got a rooster. So now we've got a guinea hen, which is honestly more annoying than the rooster. And the guinea hen and the rooster are buds, though, so they like to hang out together. All I can say is when you're laying there at 4:30 in the morning, you hear them crowing. It's not awesome.
Mm-hmm. I still think that's your best option.
This is what we'll do. You order it, and then I'll let you try to put it on that rooster. I guarantee you, he would not be a happy camper.
Or maybe he would love it. It might be his thing. There's a subset in every population, right?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah. Let's get back onto fishing, because I feel like all this cock talk's kind of weird.
That's a boat wrap right there.
Maybe I'll bring him to some of the tournaments. Make sure we all get up in the morning.
Ooh, rooster mascot. I like it. So, long story short, we had grand plans for the In-Fisherman Challenge, which has kind of morphed into reality plans because we actually see this thing having some legs and can't wait to do it. But we're doing kind of a dry run in November, where you will be coming down to Oklahoma and we'll be chasing 6 master species anglers the week of the 10th. So there's the announcement there. So in studio shows, evening shows, live shows, the entire week of the 10th. with Matt Stefan, and then we will be recording our quest to catch 6 master angler species across Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma during that time. And it's kind of like a trial run to see how we're going to involve this and who and what and when and where in 2025.
Yeah, we absolutely are doing.
Yeah, it is not canceled. We're 100%.
We are going after some Master Angler Awards. It really, we couldn't get a 10-day period, really a 2-week period to make it happen.
It was my fault. I'm just too
qualified
good.
for the,
I'm just too good.
You qualified. What is it? The national championship? I don't even know.
Bass Nation Championship on Grand Lake, November 1st through November 8th.
So the hope is, so that ends like the Saturday or Friday before we start. The hope is that Matt is very hungover for the first couple days of that, and that we're out on the water chasing bass, and he's potentially sleeping in the boat is probably what it would turn into. But no, we're absolutely doing it. We're just like, we had talked about flying across the country and like trying to cover a huge area,
a continent.
Yeah, and in order to do that, we need to really sit down and have a major planning session. We probably have to get like some sponsors to help foot some of that bill. We need to find camera guys that can partake in, in it with us. Like, it's a whole big endeavor, and we kind of want to just, like Matt said, kind of a dry run where we're going to do it. We're going to, make sure we think it's doable, make sure the viewers like what we're doing. And at that point we can go after it bigger in the future.
Because I want to do it right from the hopper, just so we can have, I see this has some legs.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast.
So the weather looks unseasonably warm, which is not good for you, but it is what it is. Or it might be the very first cold snap. It looks like it's kind of trending that way on the almanac forecast, to where it's like the first really good cold week, and everything's already turned over. But we're going to go after crappie, largemouth, sauger, hybrids, white bass, spotted bass, and striper.
To start.
That's what we're doing just on this in November. And
well, yeah, but I mean, if we happen to knock those out, then we could.
The more I've been measuring, weighing, and fishing, the harder I'm realizing it is to catch a master. Like, it's literally called the master angler because it's
tough.
Caught by master anglers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's where I come in. So the two of
True.
us. But it could be one of those things where we happen to stumble upon a big pile of flatheads.
Have you ever stumbled upon a big pile of flatheads in your day?
No, I haven't found that. I'm still looking, but you never know when that could actually happen. A massive school of flatheads that are under a dock or something along those lines. I mean, maybe that's just, maybe we got to go find a dock with like a green light on it. We could catch some cats under that.
I would also, if anyone knows in this area, I don't know, we might venture as far as the White River. I don't know how realistic it is to do a brown or something from that. If we get real frisky, because then Bull Shoals is right above there and it's got the big stripes in it. And then the Table Rock has the white bass and anyway, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we've got what, 5 days of fishing.
Yep. And 5 live shows. We're doing live shows in the evenings after every day. Matt's going to have videos on it. We're going to actually then come out with a video series that kind of captures it. We're going to break down the footage. Like, I'm looking forward to it. We are 100% still doing it. This is what it is this time. You're just staying at the old crash pad here.
Yeah, we had to tone it down just a little bit. And I will feel good if we can accomplish 4 of those 6. I feel like that would be a success.
I agree. I just enjoy catching other species, man. Like I have a difficult time if I know there's a fish there, regardless of whether I'm in a tournament or not, and regardless of what that species is. If I know that sucker's gonna bite, I'm casting to it.
Yeah, you're a savage when it comes to just catching fish. Like
I'm
you
casting
do,
to it.
yeah, you like that. I mean, you catch a big shad and you're pretty fired up over a giant threadfin shad. I mean, I think that's the fun part about it. Like it's going to be the two of us figuring out how to go about doing this. We're not going out with any guides. We're not doing, it's just the two of us. And whether or not we can figure it out is going to be half the fun, I feel like.
I guarantee Castle Dine will call after and tell us all this stuff. You fished wrong there. That wasn't the right one. Wrong lake, wrong fish. What the hell?
That could happen. What's he fishing next year?
I don't know. He fishes whatever he wants.
Yep. I just thought he might think about fishing the opens with Rayburn on there.
Yeah, that would be potential.
That division's not a whole lot of travel for him. That's the main thing I really like about that division too. Not to go back to the opens, but Rayburn's a 17-hour drive for me. The other three are like within 9 hours, which is crazy. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Versus the other division, everyone is like 17 or more.
I know I described half of it. Ben said Ben's still confused about how the opens work. 2 divisions, divisions 1, divisions 2. They're completely separate. It's kind of like the old opens, 4 tournaments in each division. You get points I would assume based on a 200-point system. After the 4 tournaments in division 1 and division 2, there'll be 50 anglers at the top of the Angler of the Year standings in each one of those independent divisions. Those anglers are invited to the Opens EQ. So basically, think of it as a 2-step series. There's the Bassmaster Opens, finishing the top 50 in your division. Excuse you. The people on the... Whoa, Eric, you good on that?
Sorry, guys.
And then everything zeros. And then there's a 3 tournament series, one in September, one in October, one in November. It consists of EQ anglers that have finished in the top 50 in either division 1 or division 2. So there's 100 anglers right there. Then they're also going to invite the Elite Series anglers who got booted through the points. So they go straight to the EQs. 2 of the Bass Nation qualifiers from this tournament next week, 2nd and 3rd place, will also get entry directly to the EQs. And then a number of other anglers will go straight to the EQs based on Bass's discretion and or meeting certain sponsorship or earnings criteria. Hell, Matt, you might get straight to the dang EQs. There's a chance, since you are an invitational champion and have X number and we're on the BPT, there's a chance that you might get an invite straight to the EQs.
So all that came out yesterday too?
You need to freaking ask them, like, hey, like these EQs, like, do I need to go through the opens, or what are the qualifying, like what are the criteria to go straight to the EQs? And then you wouldn't have a tournament until September. I never even thought about that option.
Yeah, well, I apparently need to look into that. I don't know what those criteria are, but I mean, I feel like I could potentially have some of those criteria met. Yeah, that would be nice if I could just bypass. I don't know that they're going to be handing out a whole heck of a lot of those.
I think they're doing like 125 or 150. I don't know. You have, I wonder if it might be $1 million earnings. So you have 700. You have a 713,000 earnings. You have 7 Forest Wood Cups and 1 Red Crest appearance. You have a win at the Invitationals in 2023.
What did it say the criteria was?
They didn't say what the criteria is. I was just saying they have some spots for that.
Well, yeah, maybe I need to make a phone call.
I don't know. I have no idea. I could be speaking way out of turn here, but it's worth a shot.
Matt. You're getting my
It's worth a shot, Matt Stefan.
Yeah, it is worth a shot. So now what I guess what I'll say is I don't know that I'm fishing any opens I really would just like to qualify for the EQs, Bassmaster. So if you're listening, you could help make up my mind by just getting me into the EQs. Yeah, no, I mean it is what it is. The way the fishing world has gone for me, I don't feel like I've ever been on the right side of like getting the breaks. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great point by Drunk. We said if that's the case, then people would just fish the BPTs and then go straight into the EQs. Some guys could probably. I don't know.
I mean, I would think it's in Bass's best interest to do that, to let those guys in. I really do. I mean, I don't see any, I mean, if going back to what you said, Matt, where they were going to let, you think the scheduling was done to potentially allow BPT guys to fish?
I don't know. I didn't say it. I don't know. I don't know if it
you
was.
said it was potentially done, and I
potentially,
don't know
which is smart. Like if I was them, and Mark would always talk about this, I would get in the room with my competitors and say, "Here are our weeks. Here are your weeks. You got live streaming this week. We got live streaming this week. Like, let's make it work so we could both maximize our sponsorship footprint instead of having to switch back and forth."
Yeah, I mean, you would think that the organizations would try to set it up so that they could have as many anglers as possible. And I would also say that I think both organizations would love to have each organization's top anglers fishing their leagues. So from that standpoint, like, do I think it's potentially possible the Open's scheduled to allow BPT guys to come fish? Yeah, I do. And I think that there could be a pile of guys that go and fish. Now, based on that potential, St. Lawrence River conflict, I don't know that it will happen, but we'll see what happens. I think it would be in Bass's best interest to allow hand-selected anglers into the EQs if they wanted. Like, I don't know why that would hurt, other than potentially pissing off a few anglers. But at this point, we all know that leagues don't really care about the anglers.
Like Clay said, it's about money always.
Yeah, well, hey, if they want to invite me straight to the EQs, and I'll do a bunch of content. I don't even know if that's an option. Like,
I was just
no, I know. I'm just saying.
Get your hopes up on that.
I'm saying that I think all of the leagues would love to have anglers out there that can bring some value to their circuits. So I don't think it's a bad idea for them to allow it. And we all know at this point that a lot of it's not necessarily about, fishing your way into certain areas. So I think, you might see some guys get that. I'm not planning on any special treatment, though.
Maybe you could entice them with meat sticks.
Yeah, I have some meat sticks to go around.
Couple other things.
How do you think I got on this show?
I will say that the Bridgeford, they do, like, when I was at the US Open and stuff, they had like the Bridgeford Big Bag. It is delicious meat snacks. Like, it's good stuff. It's not like, it's very good. It's I gauge my jerky based on moistness. Like, there's nothing worse than a dry, ropey slice of jerky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the dry meat is never a good thing.
No. Okay, here's a couple more things. I would just want to put this on everybody's radar. So we had Zone on like a month ago. Since then, the Bears have had like 2 games and a bye week, and they've won all those. And Zona said on the show, and I just confirmed it on text, that should they beat the Commanders on the 27th, their quarterback is former OU quarterback Caleb Williams, who then went to USC to the NFL, that he will paint his fingernails like Caleb Williams live on BTL if the Bears win this week.
There's a possibility of that. They've been playing well lately.
Yeah. So, and I say that because are you a Bears or a Packers guy?
I root for both teams, but deep down, I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah, they have a 57% chance of winning against the Commanders.
I mean, it kind of just depends on which Caleb Williams shows up. He's had some good games, he's had some bad games.
Do we let this slide, or do we show it?
Oh, Drew Gill's thing.
Yeah.
I
Otherwise,
don't
it's
know.
like 8 people see it, no one else. But I kind of like the work that we did.
You're so proud. You're so proud of it. I'm proud of it too. I think it was entertaining.
Do you want to set it up and then we'll run it?
I mean, you think we should show it?
What are the downsides to showing it?
I don't know. I feel like it was special for Drew.
Okay, then we won't show it.
Well, we can show it if you want to show it.
Well, you just talked me out of it. I thought we were showing it 100%, and then you're like, "Hey, if Drew wants to keep it private."
What do you want to show it or not? I feel like now we have to show it because now everyone watching is expecting it.
We don't have to do anything.
Maybe we should save it and show it during the Master Angler thing.
I feel like it'd be old by then.
Old news at that point.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll set it up then. Go pack, go bear down. There we go. Yeah. So Drew had a celebration party this past weekend that neither of us were invited to, but we thought it would be fun to send him a little congratulatory note because there were some anglers that were sending little short videos saying, "Hey, congrats on winning some tournaments this year and having a great year." So I think when we I don't remember how it happened. We were just talking on the phone, Matt, and then like one of us mentioned it, and I think you said, "Well, we should just film it on the BTL do a BTL on it so we can both kind of get it done in one shot, and then we'll send that over." So we talked for like 10 minutes and really were not that satisfied with what we came up with. And then Panger's like, "I'll just edit it down into like a 1-minute video." And it turned out pretty funny.
So this is it. This is for Drew Gill, 22-year-old phenom. Yeah, we'll show it. Here it is. All right. Well, I got to do it. So I get share screen, entire screen. Oh, God. Also share audio. All right. We'll see how this goes. Your audio's muted.
You hear me?
It is. Yeah. Am I blurry?
Your sunglasses are so shiny. It's unbelievable. We are putting way too much effort into this.
We weren't even invited to the party.
Why are we here?
Why are we here?
Because Drew kicked our asses this year?
Not mine. Not once.
He's got a lot of my money. I'm not real happy about that.
He won an invitational and the VPT.
He beat me so bad I don't get to fish against him anymore. I don't like any of this so far. Most anglers would feel like what he's done in 1 year satisfies an entire career's worth of fishing.
He ever buy you dinner? Like after
No.
he won? Like did he take the house out for dinner or anything?
I would like to talk about how he taught me some cool new words. Drew enlightened the house regarding how things could be fire and mid. Can use that lingo with today's younger generation. If he saw you, Matt, he'd be like, "You're fire."
He was so good this year that he didn't even show up to the last invitational and basically had a press release how it was to give other people a chance.
That was an interesting move to me. Drew, keep doing you and you'll have a fire career. You're a good one. You're one the sport needs to build around.
Good luck in the first and third periods. There it is.
I think you just wanted to show that because of how dapper you looked.
No, I wanted to show that because I think we should start doing 1-minute takes on the industry.
We really should. Like that would be entertaining content.
I was hoping he wouldn't be upset with the first and third period jab because obviously they can only use scope in one period this year. Drew is the BTL #1 live scoper on Earth, according to a panel of experts.
I mean, if he was upset with it, wouldn't he be fishing the opens?
Yeah, I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, he won enough money this year to get over it, I feel like.
I think he'll be just fine. Look at that. I think hopefully Tech 19 saying we should do shorts. Yeah, I know I need to put out shorts.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Yeah, we both
You put out shorts, don't you?
No, not really. I've put some out in the past. I just like doing my normal videos.
Yeah, same here.
I really don't like. I'm not one that like studies the algorithm to try to figure out how to grow my YouTube channel faster. I just put out a video a day, and I just do my own thing.
How many ahead are you right now? Like, how many do you have in the can, like scheduled for?
No, not that many videos. I actually gotta get some backlog for our In-Fisherman Master Angler hunt. I probably have about a week's worth of videos. But some of them are ones I can't necessarily air. One of the issues I run into with core tackle is if we come out with new products during the winter months, I can't just go film when we've got a foot of ice on the water. So I film a lot
you
of
can get a bunch
prototype
done
videos. Yeah, I do it now and I save them, but I can't release them now.
Do you think we could catch a master angler on that?
I can't. What is that?
That's straight from Japan, baby.
What? Take one out.
I can't. Bag's closed.
Is it Donkey Kong?
No, it's
what is it?
It's that character.
Take one out.
I can't. It's closed. I can't open it.
Well, you can open it.
I ain't open it. It's a collector's item.
What?
I spent 1,760 yen on this. I'm not opening it.
What? That's like $4.
No, it's not.
What is 1,000? How much did you spend? 1176.
Yep.
Let me pull up the calculator.
Divided by 144. I spent over $12 on this.
Oh, that's normal. That's a normal bait these days. Is it like it's like a creature, isn't it? Like a guy?
It's this guy.
Yeah, what? So how do you rig that?
I have absolutely no clue.
Huh. I would probably use that.
As a wacky, would you put a Ozark rig in that?
I don't think there's enough body for an Ozark rig. That looks more like our wacky shot hook.
It's freaking meaty, dude. It's big.
Yeah, how many are in there? It looks like there's only like 3. You should do a whole show on just what you brought back.
No, I'm doing that next week with Cruz and Welcher and Bouster.
Ah, cool. Another monster show.
Well, that's just the Japan recap.
Well, I know, but you got 4 guys on, so it's a big show.
Yeah, we have to talk about the visible tomato.
Is that not offered here in the U.S.?
Visible tomato is not offered here in the U.S.
What makes the tomato line so good?
It's used for uni, which is
the old shrimp catching technique, right?
Yeah, it's a Japanese fish that is becoming exceptionally popular over there. I do not know why.
Isn't that don't they throw a bait that's just full of spikes? Or am I thinking it's something else?
That's for squid.
Yeah, I thought that's what.
No, the uni are like a type of fish. I'm not sure why it's that color, to be perfectly honest. I bought it because it just looked cool.
I wonder if that's what we should throw for grass carp.
The visible tomato, since they're veggies.
Well, supposedly you can catch them on cherry tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the easy way to our master angler.
Grass carp is not on the master angler list.
Yes, it is. It says
no, it's not. Common carp or grass carp. You're right. It probably is.
We need some of that tomato line.
Surely there's someone that knows where monster carp are that we could go catch. Be like, oh, I got a pond that's got 60 pounders in it.
For the carp, we have to do that off the bank somewhere. Like that, if you're going to be carp fishing, we got to be on the bank.
Listen, I don't want to open it up, people, because it's not the collector. It's like slimy in there, and right now it's like really nice, and I like the top because it says Principality of Zion amphibious mobile sweet worms.
So wait, did you only buy 1 pack?
Yeah, I bought just a pack of these. Not to
why
fish
would you only? That's like
because they looked wild.
Rule number 1: you always buy 2.
I don't think they were actually meant to be fished.
We are not going to be able to room together.
I don't think these were actually meant to be fished with, but
Are you sure that's even a fishing lure?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you'll have to bring that. I'll try to design a core tackle hook around that for you.
Put it right up his butt and then out the head. That's
That
the only
sounds
way.
so good. Yeah. Yeah. You keep showing it. All we're seeing is flash.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's straight up tease.
All right. That's what we got going on with the opens, with your life, with the Master Angler Challenge, and with this week of BTL. Any other burning desires that you can get off your chest?
I do. Yeah, I do have to give one quick shout out and call out to the BTL listeners. Core Tackle, we just got accepted into Academy Sports, and we're doing it as a end cap sidekick display. So it's going to be a separate display just for Core Tackle products. Should be in the stores mid-November-ish. So I'm calling on you for some support. If you happen to be doing some shopping at Academy Sports, please pick up a bag of your favorite Core Tackle product.
Very nice.
It's exciting for us. It's really exciting for us. Like, we are very, very honored and pleased to be in a major retailer like Academy Sports.
Yeah, that is a big deal, dude. How many products do you have now? How many SKUs are like in production?
We're over 50. We should be. We got 4 or 5 really awesome products coming out over the next couple months. So we got some. We'll be expanding probably to about we could be close to 100 SKUs here within a few months.
I like
Actually,
it.
we're more than. I don't know what we are. We've got a pile of stuff at this point. It's hard to keep track of it all.
Ben, yeah, we will try to live stream some of the time on the water as well.
Yeah. Maybe you can make some of your little 1-minute short recaps.
Oh, we could do that with you sitting right across.
We could do it in the boat while we're waiting for bites.
Oh, it's just constant cast, catch, count, and mount.
I like the mount part.
Have you ever had like one of those days where it would just seem easy and they were all giants and it was just like, what would you consider? I just am curious on this. Like, if someone was to say, Matt, what was your best day ever on the water bass fishing? Tournament, non-tournament, whatever. If you had to just pick one day as the absolute best, and I'm talking size, quality, numbers, not like a day you won a tournament with 14 pounds, but like the best day ever in bass fishing in your life, where are you going? Like what day,
am I going, or
no,
where
what day sticks, like where are you going in your mind? Like what day sticks out to you? Like in your life?
Early May, the Sturgeon Bay area of Door County.
No, I mean a specific day.
Oh, I mean, I've had multiple days.
I know, but I just want
Sturgeon Bay area
I want
where
like
you're talking
one day.
Yeah, well,
like
I'm talking
day.
like, well, I don't have. I'm saying it's happened multiple times though, like 200 fish days of smallmouth that average 3 to 7 pounds. I mean, it's every other cast. That's a pretty good day, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like what about hour? Like what about, can you think of, I'm just curious, like in your whole life, has there been like 1 hour where you were like, it legitimately cannot get any better than this?
I mean, the best fishing of my life is been during those periods in Sturgeon Bay. Like there are like waves of giant smallmouth coming in where for hour-long periods, it's boom, boom, boom. I mean, 30-pound limit on 5 casts type stuff.
Wow. Like, that you were on the best fishery. Like there is no one in the world that is catching smallmouth bass better than you at that moment. Like you are number one on earth as far as people fishing for smallmouth at that moment.
Well, I won't say I'm number one. What I would say is you feel like you're on the best spot in the world for smallmouth, whether you're a good angler or not, you can catch them.
Yeah.
What about you? Where would yours be?
Last year when we were in Mexico, we went around this little island in El Salto, and me and my buddy had 7 in the span of about 20 minutes. We had 7 fish over 6 pounds, all on a spook.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And the biggest was like an 8.7, and the smallest was like a 6.4 because we put them all on it. And it was one of those moments where it was like a little rock, jagged, had some stump, like where you made a cast and thought there should be a big one there. Like as soon as that thought materialized, boom! I mean, just cratered it. And they were all giants. And I'm like, dude, I don't think you could have a better 20-minute span than that.
Yeah. There was one time I was, when I was not necessarily a kid, probably in my teens, we were on a family trip out in the Black Hills in South Dakota, and there was a salmon stocking truck that was dumping like good sized rainbows into one of the lakes. I mean, they were all like 15 inches.
Yeah.
And the lake was probably like 20 acres. And by the time these trucks were done, it was like, it was just a cloud of trout swimming and like every cast with a inline spinner, I caught one. Like that was, I just remember the whole time thinking I was fishing in like a stocked pond or like a hatchery pond. Like that's what it felt like. That was good fishing.
As many as you wanted to.
I mean, it was every cast you would have 12 bites. You'd catch one or you'd have 12 bites. And if you lost one, you'd catch another one after that.
And they just dart behind it. And
yeah. And the cool thing was I was standing on a rock that was about 6 feet up. So like you could
see
you could just see it all. I also, now that we're talking about this, I had an episode in a Bass Open on Lake Champlain. It was the worst 5 casts of my career, but it was honestly some of the coolest fishing of my career too. I was fishing up on the north end. And we had like solid 2.5, 3 foot waves. Like it was rough, but you could still kind of fish in it. And I was throwing a jerk bait. And the first cast I made, I hooked up with like a 4, fought him halfway to the boat. He jumped up and one of the waves came off. The bait hit the water. And I saw like 3 more in that like wave come up behind it, and I loaded up, hooked up again, fought another 4-pounder to the boat. He got off right by the boat. I cast back out there. I hooked up. I fought one for a while. He jumped, got off, instantly hooked up again. Fought him for a while. He jumped, got off like 10 feet from the boat, instantly hooked up again. These were all 4-pounders. I landed that one. So on 2 casts, I caught 1 4-pounder and lost 4 4-pounders. The next cast, I caught one I lost one that again was in the 4-pound range. The next cast, so that was 6 fish on 3 casts. The next cast, I had one that was probably a 5-pounder. Fought him all the way to the boat. He ended up coming off right at the boat, like as we were trying to net it. The 5th cast, I throw out 2 jerks, load up with another giant. He jumps, gets off, like way out there. Like it was one of those ones you set the hook and, he instantly comes out of the water, bait comes off. I work the bait halfway back to the boat, loads up again, fight another one, gets right to the boat. Literally pulls off under the boat. I see my bait like that far under the water, not far at all, right? And I'm just looking at it and like so flabbergasted by what's going on, just looking at it. And one comes up out of nowhere, grabs it, and just instantly power bombs under the boat and breaks me off. I never got another bite on that spot. I had 10 fish on, landed 1 4-pounder, and basically lost 9 4-pound class fish on 5 casts. Never had another bite on that spot. It was unbelievable. Like just unbelievable.
That's nuts.
It was wild, dude. Like it was crazy.
Adrenaline had to just be through the roof.
I mean, I don't recall actually breaking a rod, but it would not have surprised me if I would have, like, I'm not the type to like get that fired up, but I remember like sitting down for a while, like after that one broke off, like I fished for another 15 minutes, never had another bite, and you just know it's not going to happen at that point. And I just remember like sitting down, just being like, I should just go back and put it on the trailer at this point.
Did you see? Well, no, you probably didn't. In the team series event last month, David Dudley lost a big one.
I didn't
right
see
over the gunnel. Just boom, just blew his rod up on the friggin'
Really?
boat. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like he was doing it for the camera either. It was a legit, like a 5-pounder, gets it stuck in a ladder, and his 6-7 foot rod's about 3.5 foot pretty quick after that.
Yeah.
Keepers in the front just going, wait, what's happening? What just happened?
Yeah, Dudley's got a little temper occasionally.
But it was a really good rod break. Yeah, did you change the hooks, James? People want to know more about this story. Like, why? How do you think it was just the way they were slapping at it? You think you were doing something wrong?
Yeah, no, I don't know that I needed to do anything different. I mean, it was just a matter of like, you're riding big water, you're just trying to hold on and fight a fish, and the fish, you're making, because it was so windy too. I remember making really long casts. So like, I know it's one of those things. I've never had an episode like that in my life. I mean, in the hindsight, maybe I could have changed hooks. They were stock Megabass hooks at that point, but I was also throwing it on 6-pound fluorocarbon on a light spinning rod. So generally I've never had an issue with that, but it's smallmouth. Sometimes that happens with smallmouth. I mean, it happened to me this year at the St. Lawrence River, where I lost 12 of the 24 bites I had the first day on a jerkbait. Other than that, those are the 2 worst days of smallmouth fishing I've ever had.
But that is pretty cool. There's a fish called an ayu over in Japan. The color looks literally like identical to the Gancraft jointed claw color.
Does it have the chartreuse on it?
Yeah, it's identical.
Really?
Anyway, long story short, they use ayu to catch ayu. So like the traditional way to catch it is you buy an ayu, and then you put like hook with stinger below it. Then you put that ayu on your line, you drop it behind a rock, and then the ayu swims and tries to kick the other ayu off the rock. And then in the process, he snags him. So then boom, you've got your bait ayu, and then you catch the one, and then you just keep transferring that process for more and more ayu. It's crazy. You have to look it up. I literally have an ayu magazine.
How big are they?
Hold on a second. Let me see if I got this. Literally right here. 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay. Go with me.
I've got a buddy that really likes the ayu color, because he it's like a joke for him. He'll walk up to you and be like, "Ayu doing?"
Okay, there's the magazine cover. Can you see? There's the bait ayu at the top.
Yeah.
And then there's the ayu that was just hanging out by the rock that got snagged by the other ayu.
Wow, that's a pretty if just looking at that from here, I couldn't tell you which was the real one or the bait.
No, they're both real.
Those are both real fish?
Yes, you use a real ayu to catch an ayu.
Oh,
like, look,
yeah. You meant
poor
like
thing
live
at the top.
bait.
No,
yeah, like
see how he's
bait.
like, so like if you look inside, like I bought this magazine because I was so intrigued with it.
Can you read it?
No, they use like long rods, and then like a 30-foot rod. They're like tens of thousands of dollars. And here's like instructions on how it works. So like you can see, like you have your ayu hooked up, and then he tries to get in the deal, and then boom, you hook the other one.
Interesting.
I say that to say this. They're starting, like the younger generation is starting to use jerk baits on these. And I was talking to some of the guys over there, and they're basically treating the jerk bait like an ayu with artificial. But I was wondering if this would even be legal in the bass world, there's the jerk bait. Look how long that tag end is. So like once, you see what I'm saying?
So is that fish coming up and just getting snagged, or is it?
Yes,
eating
he's
something?
coming up and he's trying to knock the jerk bait away from his rock because they're very territorial. And in the process, there's a stinger hanging off the back of the jerk bait that's slapping that fish in the back and hooking it because they're not eating it.
That is wild. Like, why not just throw a standard jerk bait if that comes up and slaps a jerk bait with treble hooks mounted to it?
Dude, it's unbelievable. This magazine is all IU. Like you can see, like it's very technical. Like
I would think that would not be legal in most of our tournaments because you can't use like stinger.
Yeah, no, but it's 100% a 100% a snagging deal. But you're not like you're letting the IU basically snag the other IU.
What do they eat? There's no way to actually fish for them. How does he catch the first one?
You buy the first one.
That's crazy. You buy a fish, introduce him into a new home where one already lives, and then that guy gets pissed off.
Correct. And then the one that you catch, you then switch with the one that you bought. See, like,
what does one cost?
I don't know. I never really got into the.
Is that as big as an IU gets?
Yeah, like not very big.
I'd probably just fish for something else.
See, like here's how it sets up.
Is that your new favorite color because of this experience?
No, I thought this was a very interesting. There's a IU that is caught on a jerk bait with the.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta head to Fort Worth. What are you up to the rest of the day?
I was planning on going fishing. I think
nice.
I might go.
We wouldn't have gone for 2 hours if I knew I was keeping you from the water.
What do you got to go to Fort Worth for?
Yeah, she. I haven't seen her in a while. She was in California. Her sister got married, and then I've been here on the water fishing every day. And I'm trying to get out, going to a Halloween party on Friday. I got nothing against it. If she wants me to go, I'll go. I'll be a good sport.
What are you going to dress up as?
That's the thing. I don't really.
Just throw that black hat on, your suit jacket.
Goes rip.
Yeah. Just go as Matt Pangrak.
But I got a derby on Saturday on the home pond, so.
So you're going up there and then coming back Friday?
No, I'm going back there and coming back tomorrow so I can do day 4 with Frank Scalish. Sacrifices at this point. Matt.
How far of a drive is that?
Right at 3 hours.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
All right, well, go enjoy that.
I like our shows. I will see you November 10th.
Yeah, well, I expect to be there the day before for your celebration party.
Yep. In the meantime, go to Matt Stefan Fishing on all of his social media accounts. A daily YouTube video drops over on that channel. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks, bud.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
All right, this has been another edition of BTL Bass Talk Live. Same time, same place, day 4 tomorrow with Frank Scalish. See ya.